Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद प्रिय अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण everyone. So today is the 10th of February, it's Saturday, Magha Masa or Madhava Masa, Shukla Pakshan, and it is Pratipat or Pardini. So today is the first day of the Paksha, Shukla Pakshan. There are no Vaishnav events today, so we shall quickly move on to Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj that so many people, Brahmanis, they are spending time in the family matters in so many ways and they waste day and night in the matters of which is not permanent. After saying that, everyone's duty is always to remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to hear about Him, to glorify Him, to remember Him, and to get protection from all kinds of fearfulness. So likewise, he was saying this is the question Parikshit asked and Sukadeva Goswami has answered. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Srotavyaha Kitavyasya Smattavyasya Ichita Abhyam. So one has to always remember and hear Srotavyaha Kitavyasya Smattavyasya Ichita Abhyam. One has to remember Bhagavan Hari, Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi. So further, Sukadeva Goswami is saying that there are so many transcendentalists. One are Sankhya yogis, Karma yogis, and also some whatever the transcendentalist. So at the end, they have to remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead before they leave their body. So that is the ultimate perfection of the human life. Even though one is having all kinds of transcendental knowledge, but he doesn't remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then it is the waste of life again. So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, we are in the second canto, first chapter, verse number 6. Yetavan Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinistaya Janmalabha Parah Pumsam Ante Narayana Smrutihi. Yetavan Sankhya Yogabhyam. So all this, even the complete knowledge of the matter and spirit, Etavan Sankhya Yogabhyam, the 24 elements of the material nature, understanding each and everything perfectly, all this, the Sankhya Yogabhyam, and the knowledge of the Yogabhyam is the mystic powers, attaining all the 8 siddhis, Ashtasiddhis, Etavan Sankhya Yogabhyam, everything, and Swadharma Parinistaya, and one is particularly following his dharma, particular occupational duty, according to the religious principles. Parinistaya, by full perception. Etavan Sankhya Yogabhyam, Swadharma Parinistaya, everyone are perfect in their lineages, Sankhya Yoga, and also Yogabhyam, Ashtasiddhis, and also Swadharma Parinistaya. This is the Jnanis and mystics and Karma yogis. All kinds of people, even though they are perfect. Janmalabha Parah Pumsam. And when they will be completely perfect, Janmalabha Parah Pumsam Ante Narayana Smrutihi. So they attain the perfection of the Supreme Personality. by remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, they will be incomplete. Janmalabha parah pumsam. So this is the very perfect and beautiful verse. This is Krishna consciousness. We are straight away holding the ultimate aim. That is the Krishna consciousness, and continue rest of things. Either it is material or whatever it is, we continue other things. First hold the ultimate perfection of life. We never ever fall down. That is Krishna says all the time. Swalpamapyasi dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So here he is saying, Sukadeva Goswami says, Etavan Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinistaya Janmalabha Parapumsam Ante Narayana Sprutihi. So translation for this verse. The highest perfection of human life achieved either by complete knowledge of matter and spirit, by practice of mystic powers, or by the perfect discharge of occupational duty is to remember the personality of Godhead at the end of life. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Narayana is the transcendental personality of Godhead beyond the material creation. Everything that is created, sustained, and at the end annihilated is within the compass of the Mahatattva, material principle, and is known as the material world. The existence of Narayana or the personality of Godhead is not within the jurisdiction of this Mahatattva, and as such, the name, form, attributes, etc. of Narayana are beyond the jurisdiction of this material world. By the speculation of empiric philosophy, which discerns matter and from spirit, or by cultivation of mystic powers, which ultimately helps the performer to reach any planet of the universe or beyond the universe, or by discharge of religious duties, one can achieve the highest perfection, provided one is able to reach the stage of Narayana Smriti, or constant remembrance of the personality of Godhead. This is possible only by the association of a pure devotee who can give a finishing touch to the transcendental activities of all jnanis, yogis, or karmis in terms of prescribed duties defined in the scriptures. There are many historical instances of the achievement of spiritual perfection, such as that of the Sanakadi Rishis or the 9 celebrated Yogendras who attained perfection only after being situated in the devotional service of the Lord. None of the devotees of the Lord ever deviated from the path of devotional service by taking to other methods as adopted by the jnanis or yogis. Everyone is anxious to achieve the highest perfection of this his particular activity, and it is indicated herein that such a perfection is Narayana Smriti, for which everyone must endeavor his best. In other words, life should be molded in such a manner that one is able to progressively remember the personality of Godhead in every step of life. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So in this verse, Prabhupada and the purport Prabhupada is mentioning, Narayana is the supreme personality of Godhead, and all these activities are under the jurisdiction of Mahatattva. So this is either karmis, jnanis, or the attainment of the siddhis, astasiddhis. But at the end, one has to remember the Lord's Narayana only. Ante Narayana Smritihi. So this is just by always when we are in the associating with the pure devotees, they speak only about only Krishna, nothing else. So we are always in the remembering, that is Srotavyaha, Kitavyasha, Smartavyasha. So in such a way, we are completely free from Pravishinti Akuto Bhayam. We are always free from all kinds of fearfulness. So this is one what we can compare. So in the past times, Kardama Prajapati, after his complete 10,000 years of meditation on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord appeared and then he blessed him, and then that Devahuti is going to be your wife, and then he left. And then when he got married to Devahuti, And then Devhuti, even though Kadma Prajapati says that I have got Bhagavad Prasada, then Devhuti. So for the moment, I want children. And then understanding that he created a big palace. That palace, it contains everything and it travels all over the universe. Wherever he goes, and it will go, and they will enjoy all kinds of. They do not have to take a bus and train or airplane and go and come back and do everything. They are already in the home, and it travels wherever they wish. When we are similarly, when we hold the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we are already in the boat. We do not have to go anywhere else, and Hare Krishna Mantra only, it will take us through wherever we want. So our ultimate destination is the Goloka Vrindavana. We never ever fall down. We are already on it. Even though we are in the material world, we are always holding Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So that happens only when we are associating with the pure devotees of Krishna. So and also this one in the Mukunda Mala Stotra, he Kulashekar Alwar says about the Narayana. Namami Narayana Pada Pankajam Karomi Narayana Pujanam Sada Vadami Narayana Nama Nirmalam Smarami Narayana Tattvam Avyayam. That is, he is just remembering about the Narayana only. So, and he also mentions about what is the mantra that he makes. शत्रुच्छेदैकमन्त्रं सकलम् उपनिषद्वाक्यसम्पूज्यमन्त्रं संसारोत्तारमन्त्रं समुपचितमहासङ्गनिर्याणमन्त्रं सर्वैश्वर्यैकमन्त्रं व्यसनभुजगसन्तष्टसन्त्राणमन्त्रं जिह्वे श्रीकृष्णमन्त्रं जप जप सततं जन्मसाफल्यमन्त्रम् जिह्वे श्रीकृष्ण मन्त्रं जप जप सततं जन्म साफल्य मन्त्रं. That is Hare Krishna Maha Mantram. It is very beautifully, the devotees glorify what needs to be done at every moment of life. Krishna says, Tasma sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmaridyacha. This is the everything. And Sukadeva Goswami says, तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा भगवानीश्वरो हरिः स्तोतव्यः कीर्तव्यश्मर्तव्यश्चिता भयम्. And it is एतावन्येव लोकेऽस्मिन् पुंसां निःश्रेयसोदयः मयि अनन्येन मयि तीव्रेण भक्तियोगेन मनोमयि अर्पितं स्थिरम्. All the time just give your mind, intelligence, your energy, everything only to me. Krishna says, this is Kapila Bhagavan says, all these great personalities says, this material body is Kshanabhanguram. It is Kshanabhanguram. It will go, it can be vanished at any moment of time. Even though he is perfectly healthy and everything else, we do not know what is going to happen. But people make in the material plans, pensions, retirement plans, home, and then future. How do I pay bills? All these things. Everything will be completely put a full stop with single the time factor. If the Lord wanted to take us back, or if the material nature it wanted to separate, it wanted to take the body from that particular soul, conditioned soul, everything will be ruined to ashes. This is लोको विकर्म निरतः कुशले प्रमत्तः कर्मण्यें त्वद्बुदिते भवदच्चनेस्ते यस्तावदस्य बलवानिह जीविताशां सद्यः चिनत्ति अनिमिषाय नमोऽस्तु तस्मै. And all the plans of human beings in the material way, everything will be cut to pieces. There are so many plans. Everything will be sadyah chinatti animishaya namostu tasmai. But they do not follow. Even though they are hearing all these things, they still make the plans for the material way to live permanently here. I want to take a good job. I want to take a good family. But at the end, where they take one into, so they will more entangle. That is the Gruhamedi's life. But whereas the devotees, they make their life entirely keeping Krishna in the center, always to remember Krishna, glorify Krishna. That is how one one is living in the other side. So likewise, one will remember whenever he is molding everything to keeping Krishna. So that is Prabhupada mentions. So life should be molded in such a manner that one is able to progressively remember the personality of Godhead in every step. In every step. So then what happens? This is also whenever it is meant. Etan mahapunyam alam pavitram dhanyam yashashim padamayu ahisham pranendriyanam idi sauryavardhanam narayano gatiranga shrinvatam. Maitreya Muni says to Vidura, after saying about the Varahadeva's story, hearing all the very beautiful how Varahadeva killed Hiranyaksha, then he says, Etan Mahapunyam Alam Pavitram Dhanyam Yashashim Padamayu Ashisham Pranendriyanam Visauriyavardhanam Narayano Ante Gataranga Shrinvatam. And whenever he is living here, by hearing the Krishna Katha and all his pastimes, then he will be having all the wealth, fame, longevity, and all other objects of one's all desires. So likewise, he will at the end of his life, he will be transferred to the supreme abode of the Lord. That is also mentioned. It is just molding our life. So likewise, Prabhupada is saying here in this purport, and Sukadeva Goswami is saying, एतावान् सांख्ययोगाभ्यां स्वधर्म परिनिष्ठया जन्मलाभः परः पुंसम् अन्ते नारायण स्मृतिः. That is the finishing touch. अन्ते नारायण स्मृतिः. अन्तकाले च माम् एव स्मरन् मुक्त्वा कलेवरं यः प्रयाति समद्भावं याति नास्ति अत्र संशयः. That is Krishna's words. Okay, that is from Sri purport and this Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, we shall move on to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Brahmananda, January 6, 1970, Los Angeles. It is a small letter. Can I request any dear devotees to read this letter?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, may I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
My dear Brahmananda, please accept my blessings. Since I have come here, I have not heard anything from you. Hope you are doing well along with all other devotees. I hear from Gargamani that you have received some letter from the draft board accepting our society as religious. I am anxious to see the letter. In the meantime, I have received one letter from Shyama Sundara that the amount of George Harrison wants to donate for printing of my Krishna, that is $19,000, had some difficulty for paying directly cash. Therefore, his lawyer, Mr. Alan Klein, has advised him some device. I have already written him a letter in this connection, and the copy of which is enclosed. Please find. With this copy of this letter, in which you are authorized to represent me, you can see Mr. Alan Klein and do the needful. I have also not heard anything about my bank balance in the FN City Bank. Please make my passbook up to date and let me know what is the balance. Also write to me all other interesting news which you may have by this time. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any take your points, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, the main thing is like Prabhupada always remember his disciples and he's always anxious to hear from him. However busy Prabhupada may be, however busy in his devotional service, he still remember every devotees who Prabhupada associated, and whoever is sincere. Prabhupada always wanted to hear from them how the updates and how things are going on and all. And here also Brahmananda Prabhuji was the first devotees came to the movement when Prabhupada was in the 20th Avenue. So he was given the responsibility of as a representative of Prabhupada and for the transaction of money where George Harrison was donating for the Krishna book printing. And it is like a responsibility given. And Prabhupada was asking him to share all the exciting news there are. So like Prabhupada always remember and always wanted to know the disciples' circumstances, what is happening, everything is all right and all. And he's also giving responsibilities also to his disciples very scrutinizingly. So yes, Prabhu, that is what I could realize. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Any other points, dear devotees? Yes, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So this is George Harrison's contribution towards Krishna's book printing. We are all now experiencing that one. Satan Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yes, yeah, that was the what you mentioned. It is very, very one of the milestone. Actually, George Harrison contribution and his donation and his preface, the first page, his writing. It was another also for the preaching of Hare Krishna movement. Is very, very exciting for all, even devotees and non-devotees, all. So actually, the Hare Krishna movement, his contribution was very high economically, and his music and his writing the first page is that was very. It was very powerful. Yes. Hare Krishna. Yeah, I cannot continue.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. So that is up from this letter. Any other points, dear devotees? And also Prabhupada here mentioning, so whenever something coming from letters from the government about that, considering as our society as a religious, something like that, Prabhupada is just thinking whether it would, if there will be any legal complications later on. So that is also considered. Prabhupada is always anxious what is happening. Everything must be always alert. We do not know at what moment what happens. Okay, so that is from Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so we'll be moving on to the next Chatushloki Bhagavata, third sloka. And then today evening we have got regular Bhagavad Gita Sangha. Tomorrow regularly. After that, shloka learning and Ramayana reading. Okay, so that's all from the announcements point of view. And dear devotees, if you have got anything to share on Krishna consciousness or any events are going on, kindly share. Otherwise, we will move on to Bhagavatam, Chatushloki Bhagavata, that third sloka. Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay.
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare.
Sorry, I couldn't speak earlier. About the letter. Sorry, it was pointed out an important point about how the board has accepted us. They endorse that Krishna consciousness is a religious practice. That was, I think, was very important. Gives us permission to have the freedom to practice Krishna consciousness publicly.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. So this is a religious education society. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, we shall move on to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, before we start again. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is speaking to Lord Brahma about the Chatushloki Bhagavata. So Brahma asked, "Oh my dear Lord, how do you enter into this cosmic manifestation? How do we understand your different manifestations, different pastimes?" Likewise, Brahma put many questions to hear from the Lord directly. And then Lord saying that, "Oh Brahma, by my mercy, you will get all the knowledge revealed in the heart. Jnanam paramagухyame yadvijnan samanvitam sarahasyam tadangam cha gruhana gaditam maya." All the secrets and everything. Yavanaham yatabhavo yadrupa gunakarmakaha tataiva tattva vijnanam astute mad anugrahat. Everything. By my mercy, you will receive all the knowledge in the heart. And then he says, Aham evasam evagre nanyat yat sad asatparam pashadaham eretaccha yo shisheta sosmiham. I am the only one before the creation, during the creation, after the creation exists. That is the first statement of the Chatushloki Bhagavata. And then second sloka and statement is Pratyardham yat pratyeta na pratyeta chatmani tadvijjhat atmano mayam yata bhaso yata tamaham. And anything which is not related to me, that is in the illusion or like a shadow kind of thing. So it doesn't have any value for it if it is not associating with Krishna directly. But in all this cosmic manifestation, everything is in relation to Krishna, but there is some kind of knowledge is covering knowledge, that is illusion. Yata abhaso yata tamaha, that is in the mode of ignorance, is a darkness which covers the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So anything in connection to Krishna, that has the value. That is the second statement of the Chatushloki Bhagavata. So the third statement, and here the Lord is saying that this cosmic manifestation, it has got all the elements. Panchabhutas have there outside of the, we can see the earth, water, fire, air, and space. These Panchabhutas, using these Panchabhutas, the bodies are made as well. But at the same time, they are also separate. Our body is also made of, similarly, the Panchabhutas, even though they are outside, at the same time, the universal covering layers are also earth, water, fire, and ether and space. There are the coverings are also there. Are coverings are also there, and they are also inside the universe as the elements. Likewise, the elements, they enter into in each and everything, but they are separate. Likewise, I also enter into the cosmic manifestation. At the same time, I'm outside of this cosmic manifestation, outside of everything, all the material creation. So likewise, the Lord is saying in the third statement of Chatushloki Bhagavata. Yata mahanti bhutani bhuteshu uccavacheshvanu pravistani apravistani tatateshu natveshvaham. Yata mahanti bhutani, like mahanti bhutani, the universal elements. Yata mahanti bhutani bhuteshu uccavacheshvanu bhuteshu uccavacheshvanu. So in the minute and gigantic Cheshvanu, Anu is the after Pravistani, Apravistani. They enters and also they are not entered. Pravistani, Apravistani. Tatateshu Natveshvaham. Similarly, I also enter into all this cosmic manifestation, but I'm outside of them. So it is very sometimes it is a technical questions for the people who doesn't understand Krishna's omnipotency. So here Lord is saying to Brahma, Yata mahanti bhutani bhuteshu uccavacheshvanu pravistani apravistani tatateshu natveshvaham. So this one also, I think Lord says this one, if we just to bring that one. Once again, that universal Goloka chart. So here in this one universe, here outside, the universal coverings are there. These are the elements. They also enter into the cosmic manifestation, the lotus stem, which is of the same ingredients. And here Brahma is coming on the top. And then he using these ingredients of this stem, he creates all the 14 planetary systems. They're made up with all the elements, Panchabhutas. And these elements are also outer coverings. They entered here and they're outside of it. Likewise, the Lord also inside here as a Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu and also Paramatma, but here and he is in the Goloka and also in the Vaikuntha planets. That is his omnipotency. And like here, he's saying, Yata Mahanti Bhutani Bhuteshu Ucchavakeshvanu Pravistani Apravishtani Tatateshu Natpeshvaham. So, translation for this verse: O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmic cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created and at the same time I am outside of everything. That is a very beautiful statement. Third statement of Chatushlaki Bhagavata. Can I request dear devotees take turns and then read each devotee one paragraph? Hare Krishna.
I can read, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, please.
The great elements of material creation, namely earth, water, fire, air, and ether, all enters into the body of all manifested entities. The seas, mountains, aquatics, planets, reptiles, birds, beasts, human beings, demigods, and everyone materially manifested. And at the same time, such elements are differently situated. In the developed stage of consciousness, the human beings can study both uh, psychological, physiological, and physical science. But the basic principle of such science are nothing but the material elements and nothing more. The body of the human beings and the body of the mountains, as also the bodies of the demigods, including Brahma, are all of the same ingredient, earth, water, etc. And at the same time, the elements are beyond the body. The elements were created first, and therefore they entered into the bodily construction later. But in both circumstances, they entered the cosmos and also did not enter. Similarly, the Supreme Lord, by his different energies, namely the internal and external, is within everything in the manifested cosmos, and at the same time he is outside of everything, situated in the kingdom of God, Venkutloka, as described before. This is very nicely stated in the Brahma Samhita 5.37 as follows. Ananda Chinmaya Rasapati Pratibhavita Bisa Sapirya Eva Nija Rupataya Kalarvihi Goloko Eva Nivasatsa Akhilatma Bhuto Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship the personality of Godhead Govinda, who, by my expansion of his internal potency of transcendental existence, knowledge, and bliss, enjoys in his own and expanded forms uh, simultaneously. He enters into every atom of the creation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mataji. So here in this first paragraph, Prabhupada explains about these 5 elements. Our human bodies are all these kinds of so many living entities. All of their bodies are made up of these elements, but these elements are still they are separate from all these living entities, even though they are created using the same elements. So this one, there are a number of places. For example, in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was a little boy and he was trying to eat the outside soil, at that time Sachi Mata was chastising him that you cannot eat this thing like that. Then he says that this is the one where we get the food from. Then why can't we eat straight away? Then Sachi Mata says that yes, that is right. This is everything comes from all of the material ingredients only, but they have got levels of it and where it can be utilized for what purpose. And that is one example. It is a transformation whenever it has got the higher level of that which is consumable, and that would be turning into the spiritual nature. Like the earth, from the earth the wood comes, from the wood the fire sacrifices comes. Using those fire sacrifices, one can attain the dharma, or the attaining the perfection of human life. That is the way of we are using. Everything is elevated into the spiritual level. So these are the things of the Shastric injunctions. And Prabhupada mentions there are different bodies of the human being and body of the mountains, also bodies of the demigods, everything are of the same ingredients. So it goes from all the Pataloka top to Satyaloka, all this universe, all these planetary systems. So the elements were first created first, and therefore they entered into the bodily construction later. But in both circumstances, they entered the cosmos and also did not enter. So this is very, it happens very in the subtle level. We cannot see directly with our eyes, but we observe it. In due course of time, we see those changes. And similarly, the Supreme Lord, by his different energies, namely the internal and external, is within everything in the manifested cosmos, and at the same time, he is outside of everything. Okay, and very Prabhupada bringing this one, Ananda Chinmay Rasa Pratibhavitabihi Tavir Eva Nijrupataya Kalabihi. Even though he is enjoying in the Goloka, and at the same time, Goloka Eva Nivasati Akilatma Bhoto, he is in the everyone's, all the living entities' heart. Akilatma Bhoto, Atma Bhoto. So likewise, Prabhupada brings that verse. Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Who has got that potency? I am offering my obeisances there. Otherwise, people in this material world, if I am here, I cannot be in another place at the same time. But it is happening only with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi. Okay, so can I request other devotee to take the turn for the next verse? Next.
Mary,
Yes, Mataji, please.
I worship the personality of Godhead Govinda, who by one of his plenary potential portions entered into the existence universe and every particle of the atoms, and thus unlimitedly manifests his infinite energy all over the creation. The impersonalities can image or even perceive that the Supreme Brahmana is thus all preventing, and therefore conclude that there is no possibility of his personal form. Herein lies the mystery of his transcendental knowledge. This mystery is transcendental love of Godhead, and one who is surcharged with such transcendental love of Godhead, without difficulty we see the personality of Godhead in every atom and every movable or unmovable object, and at the time he can see the personality of Godhead in his own abode, Goloka. enjoying eternal pastime with his association who are also expressions of his transcendental existence. This vision is the real mystery of spiritual knowledge as stated by the Lord in the beginning, Sarvasam Tata Angana Agnancha. This mystery is the most confidential of the knowledge of the Supreme, and it is impossible for the mental spectacle to discover dint of in, in by dint of intellectual gymnastics. The mystery can be revealed through the process recommended by Brahmaji in the Brahma Samhita 5.38 as follows. Prema Jana Jajrata Bhakti Vayujanaha Santah Sadaya Hridaya Vilokaya Yanti Yam Sarvasundaram Achintam Aguna Sarupam Govindam Adipurusham Tam Ham Bhajami. First, I worship the original personality of Godhead, Govinda, who is the pure devotee, that their eyes made with the ornament of love of Godhead always observe within their heart. This Govinda, original personality of Godhead, is synonymous Samsundara with all transcendental qualities.
Thank you, Mataji. So here Prabhupada is bringing so the expansion of his plenary parts is more definitely explained in the Brahma Samhita. Ekopyaso rachitum jagadanda kotim yachaktirasti jagadanda chaya yadantaha andantarasta paramanu chayantarastam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So here Ekopi asau, and even though he is one person, Rachitum Jagadanda Kotim, he expands Jagadanda Kotim. There are millions of universes. Yatchaktihi, and by his potency, Yatchaktihi, Yatchakvirasti Jagadanda Chaya Yadantaha, Jagad Anda Chaya Yadantaha. He enters into all these cosmic manifestations. Andantarastam Paramanu Chayantarastam. How he is entering? He enters into the big, gigantic, the universal egg, and also enter into the Paramanu in the very tiny atoms. When we float this Paramanu, 2 Paramanus are called 1 Anu, and 3 Anus are called 1 Trasarenu. That means 6 Paramanus are called 1 Trasarenu. These Trasarenus can be seen with our eyes whenever they're floating when the sunlight is coming through the windows. At the time these particles are floating, they are called Trasarenus. At that time we can see them. And why they're floating? The Lord enters into those Paramanu Chayantarastam, Andantarastam, Paramanu. That is the Lord's energy. And that how the time is calculated, the sun movement to cross such kind of particles, that is calculated. See how minute the calculation of the time. So, and all these particles, what happens in due course of time, if we see this, all these particles fall on the floor, somewhere or other, or fall into the waters. And then that will turn into the earth. And then from where the life comes, sprout as a plants, grass, and then trees, and then similarly, that particles keep on falling and falling. Where does that coming from? That is the Lord's. Yachaktirasti Jagadanda Chaya Yadantaha. It is Lord's potency, that is Mahatattva. Ingredients are coming from the Pradhana, and they're always with the 3 material modes of nature, impregnated with 3 material modes of nature. Yattat trigunam avyaktam nityam sad asadatmakam. Pradhanam prakritim prahuhu avishesham visheshavat. Before it is called, before the manifestation it is pradhana, after the manifestation it is the nature. And whenever it is, we could see all this in the material nature, whenever completely manifested, that is in the Vyakta stage. But we are also products of that material nature. So because of we are coming from the material nature, we cannot understand the inconceivable supreme personality of Godhead who has created all these things. It is very difficult for us. So likewise, Prabhupada is explaining here using Brahma Samhita. By his plenary portions, enter into the existence of every universe and every particle of the atoms, and thus ultimately manifest his infinite energy all over the material creation. And this here Prabhupada mentions, so who is surcharged with such transcendental love of Godhead without difficulty? See the personality of Godhead in every atom and every movable or immovable object. That is the mystery. But people who are trying to understand by just only the materialistic things, okay, this is soil, this is coming from the fruit, and eat the fruit, that's all. And then enjoy. And their knowledge is only limited to very tiny window. They do not see what is before and what is after. So that is how the Lord is existing. So he enters into each and every element, including the Paramanu and also complete Goloka Eva University, Aglatma Bhutu. And this is the real mystery of the spiritual knowledge. This is Sa Rahasyam. This is so mysterious. Sa Rahasyam Tadangam Cha Gruhana Gaditam Maya. I am explaining all these things to you, O Brahma. And then he says all these things. And these mental speculators discover by dint of intellectual gymnastics, it is impossible for them, for the materialistic peoples. And here, who understands, they are people who are tinged their eyes with the prema, the love of Godhead. Premanjanachurita bhakti vilochanena santah sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achincha gunaswarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Prema Anjanam. This is the ointment, Prema Anjanam. Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, with complete devotion, and then they approach the Lord. And who are they? They are Santaha, the devotees, Sadaiva, Hridayeshu. And in their heart, Vilokayanti, they see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti, Yam Shama Sundaram, that whom they see, that Shama Sundara, the Tribhanga Lalita forms. In the very beautiful, he is having Avlola Chandaka Lasadvanamalya Vamsi Ratnangadam Pranayakeli Kalavilasam Shyamam Tribangalilitam Nita Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That Shyam Sundaram Achincha Gunaswarupam. He is having inconceivable Achincha Gunaswarupam, embodiment of all these transcendental qualities. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So that Lord can be perceived only through the love of Godhead in the heart. When we tinge our eyes with love, then only we see the Lord. And we can see the Lord Sarvabhuteshu Chatmanam Sarvabhutani Chatmani. In each and everything, Ikshet Ananya Bhavena, Ikshet Ananya Bhavena. Then only we see the Lord in everything, Lord in our heart, and everything is in the Lord's existence. Everything is existing within the Lord. So likewise, the Lord would see it. So whenever that only the devotees can see the Lord in everywhere, in all the living entities in relating to the Lord, Lord relating to us. That is the perfection of human life. Then we do not have to stick at one place. Wherever we go, we only see the Lord. Okay, can I request the devotee to read the next paragraph?
Shall I, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Therefore, although he is present in every atom, the Supreme Personality of Godhead may not be visible in the dry speculators. Still, to the dry speculators, still the mystery is unfolded before the eyes of the pure devotees, because their eyes are anointed with love of Godhead. And this love of Godhead can be attained only by the practice of transcendental loving service of the Lord and nothing else. The vision of the devotee is not ordinary. It is purified by the process of devotional service. In other words, as the universal elements are both within and without, similarly, the Lord's name, form, quality, pastimes, entourage, etc., as they are described in the revealed scriptures or as performed in the Vaikuntha lokas, far, far beyond the material cosmic manifestation, are factually being televised in the heart of the devotee. The man with a poor fund of knowledge cannot understand, although by material science one can see things far away by means of the television. Factually, the spiritually developed person is able to have the television of the kingdom of God always reflected within his heart. This is the mystery of knowledge of the personality of Godhead. The Lord can award everyone and everyone liberation, mukti, from the bondage of material existence, yet he rarely awards the privilege of love of Godhead, as confirmed by Narada Muktim Dudati Kahichit Smana Bhakti Yogam. This transcendental devotional service of the Lord is so wonderful that the occupation keeps the deserving devotee always wrapped in psychological activities without deviation from the absolute touch. Thus, love of Godhead developed in the heart of the devotee is a great mystery. Brahmaji previously told Narada that the desires of Brahmaji are never unfulfilled because he's always absorbed in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, nor has he any desire of his heart save and except the transcendental service of the Lord. This is the beauty and mystery of the process of bhakti yoga. As the Lord is infallible because he is Achyuta, similarly, desires of the devotee in the transcendental service of the Lord are also Achyuta, infallible. This is very difficult, however, for the layman to understand without knowledge of the mystery of devotional service, as it is very difficult to know the potency of touchstone. touchstone. As touchstone is rarely found, a pure devotee of the Lord is also rarely to be seen, even amongst millions of liberated souls. Kotishwapi Mahamuni, out of all kinds of perfections attained by the process of knowledge, yoga perfection is devotional service in the highest of all and the most mysterious also, even more mysterious than the 8 kinds of mystic perfection attained by the process of yogi performances. In the Bhagavad Gita 1864, the Lord therefore advised Arjuna about this bhakti yoga. Sarve geyam man bhuyaha shrinu me paramam vachaha. Just hear from me again about the most confidential part of the instructions in the Bhagavad Gita. This same was confirmed by Brahmaji to Narada in the following words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here Prabhupada is bringing some points. So all these Vaikuntha pastimes, they are televised in the heart of a devotee. Televised in the heart of a devotee. This is a beautiful thing. When There are so many things, wonderful things are happening in our practical experience. And about the Lord and his pastimes in the Goloka or in the Vaikuntha planets, they will be televised in the heart of the devotee who are not attached to these material activities at all. So that is, it is, so the vision of the devotee is not ordinary. It is purified process of devotional service. Everything is, whenever we serve the Lord with love only, then only we get the attachment to the Lord. And we don't, how do we get it? When we detach with the material world only, we get the love of the Godhead. Otherwise, it is not possible. Two things, one is bad thing and good thing cannot go together. So there is only one thing can exist at the same time. But in due course of time, as part of the devotional process, so when we take that one, all the bad things will be gradually burnt to ashes, and only remaining is the Vayugnabhyam Yatalohum Matam Tyajiti Vaimalam. When we are just heating this gold and heating and heating, and it will turn into purifying. Vayugnabhyam Yatalohum Matam Tyajiti Vaimalam. All impurities will be coming out of it. Likewise, the devotees, the devotional service, it will make the ones into pure molten gold, which can be offered to the Lord as pure. Yatapam Prakriti Paraha, before the soul coming into this universe, and then here contaminated consciousness. Now, and we are giving the Lord with purified consciousness and with the help of the Supreme Lord. Atmanama Sutamaham Suhrudatmanaiva. We are, with the help of the Lord, we purify this consciousness and give it back to the Lord and offer. And then how? And then we will enter into the Vaikuntha planets and take part in the Lord's pastimes. But this cannot be understood by the material science. Okay, so, and also Prabhupada means the spiritually developed person is able to have the television of the kingdom of God always reflected within his heart. So this can be seen when, for example, in the Vaikuntha descriptions, when we hear it, what happens, these Sanskrit verses, when we are reading, they will go straight into the heart and they will be remembered. We cannot forget them. They're coming to the smriti all the time. And this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. But whereas this statement, the same, when it is converted into the some other languages, that they cannot take that kind of smritis into our consciousness. But it happens only with the Sanskrit. This one, Sanskrit, it is directly touching the heart, and it will directly always embedding in the heart. We do not forget them. They will keep on coming into the smriti. That's why whenever we stick to the Sanskrit and at the same time glorify the Lord in the verses, and we feel very closer to the Lord, and we see the Lord through the sound vibrations. Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha. Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha. Then their Lord, he and his associates, they enjoy in the devotees. Yatra yena mitta nimittena dharmena aradayana harim. Yatra chadhya pumanaste Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha. Sattam Vishtabhivirjam Swanamno Brudayan Rushaha. By seeing the Lord, and when the Lord is laughing, we take so much of happiness. That is the topmost thing devotees feel. What else we would need? As soon as the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in front of us and he is having the beautiful form, and he is performing his pastimes, what else we would need? Just by looking at, and all our material things will be vanished. We do not desire anything. So here, and Prabhupada further also saying, the mukti, everyone can, anyone and everyone, Lord can award this to anyone, but muktim dadati karihit smana bhakti yogam, the Lord cannot easily give the bhakti to ordinary people. This is whenever Rishabhadeva pastimes, whenever he is Sukadeva Goswami says to Parikshit Maharaj that after performing Rishabhadeva, explaining about Rishabhadeva, saying that Pandavas, they're all the devotees of the Lord, and the Lord has been like a Akaro Sachivam Dhotam Sauhrudad Atasaritim. He has taken that position, and Pandavas, you're always at the lotus feet of Krishna only. The relationship is so strong with the performing devotional service. And he was encouraging Parikshit. So the Lord cannot give easily the bhakti. He can give the mukti, but not the bhakti. So that way we can establish how powerful this bhakti is. Transcendental devotional service of the Lord. That occupation keeps the deserving devotees always wrapped in psychological activities without deviation from the absolute touch. So thus the love of Godhead developed in the heart of the devotee is a great mystery. And Brahmaji is saying that Nabharati Mingam Ropalakchite Navekpotinme Manaso Mushagatihi. He says that these verses, because I keep Lord in the heart all the time, whatever I speak, it will never ever go fault. Nabharati Mingam Ropalakchite Navekpotinme Manaso Mushagatihi Name Shishikani Patin Satpate Enme Hudat Panchavata Drito Harihi. So that is Brahma's statement to Narada Muni. So the devotees are like that way. They are with their performing of austerities, penances, keeping only the Lord in the heart. All of their words will never go vain. Whatever they speak, it will be true. Even though sometimes there is something deviation, the Lord will take the personal and try to fulfill those things. And here that one is saying, the desires of Brahmaji are never unfulfilled because he is always absorbed in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Nor has he any desire in the heart save and except. He doesn't have any material things except the transcendental service of the Lord. That is his position.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. If it's a material cosmic manifestation, shouldn't it be in everybody's heart and then the only devotee can switch it on and activate it, ignite it? Because it says material, so I would imagine it would be in the non-devotee's heart as well. No?
So they do have it, but they don't have fire to ignite it.
That's what I mean, yes. So they, unless they took to Krishna consciousness and activate it, they're not going to really witness it and experience it.
Yes, Mataji, that is true.
Okay, that makes sense because it says only televised in the heart of the devotee. Yeah, so I see what it means, but it wasn't clear to begin with, just reading the words.
Thank you, Mataji. And so that is the beauty and the mystery. Yes, Prabhuji. Ratan Prabhuji.
Instruction given by Kumar 22.
Prabhuji, your voice is breaking.
You're breaking up, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, is it okay?
Yeah, that's better.
Hare Krishna. Is it okay now? Okay. Okay. The similar instruction was given by 4 Kumaras, the Kumar, especially Sanat Kumar, mentioned in Canto 4, chapter 22, text number especially 26. 26 is a similar way it was given instruction.
Prabhu, you're breaking up again. We couldn't hear,
but
we couldn't hear
especially
what you had
26
to
you
say.
mentioned, and Kumar also mentioned. maybe internet problem. Yeah, I mean, it was similar instruction given by Kumara. Kumara also same way as Brahmaji. Is it clear? It was in 4 cantos, chapter 22. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. It is exactly the similar, and it is especially mentioned 22 and 26. 26 actually very clear is instruction. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Should I
Hare
open
Krishna.
Prabhuji or?
Yeah, you can check. Yeah, cross check. 22. Yes.
Which verse number, Prabhuji?
Yeah, you can check 22, especially 26 is actually clearly mentioned, but you can check 22 as well.
The attachment for the Supreme can be increased by practicing devotional service, inquiring about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, applying Bhakti Yoga in life, worshipping the Yogeshwara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and by hearing and chanting about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These actions are pious in themselves. Are there
Yeah.
any other verse?
And 26 also you can check. Actually, everyone is similar, but 26 is very clearly mentioned. Yes, please.
Would you like to read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, not see properly because my glass is not in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Upon becoming fixed in his attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by the grace of spiritual master, and by awakening knowledge and detachment, the living entity situated within the heart of the body and covered by the 5 elements burns up his material surroundings exactly as fire arising from wood burns the wood itself. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. So this one, Iva Agni Aranehi. So this statement comes like Arani is the one which is used to lit the fire for the sacrifices. So they do not have the matchbox, something like that. Or they used to take 2 stones and then hit each other, then only fire comes. Similarly, Arani is the one which is made with the wood. There are 2 woodens, one is the outside wood and the inside wood. They will rub the both, they're made with the bamboo, and whenever they're doing, the fire comes out, which is used for the fire sacrifice. If we do too much, then the fire comes out and it will burn that wood itself. There will not be anything. Likewise, the devotional service, it will make this completely entire. Jarayati yakosham nigirna manaloyata. Even the material body it will go, but the subtle body is still there. That will also will be completely digested. Jaratiya portion nigirna manaloyata. Like when we eat the food, which is burned by the jataragni in the tummy, likewise, this will also completely consume the subtle body as well. That is the devotional service. By
Yeah.
awakening the knowledge
Yeah,
and
exactly.
detachment. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever Mataji mentioned.
Yes. Yeah.
Who
Though
are on the fire, they can be enlightened. But who are the nearby, chances, yeah, there will be chance because it was fire and heating and warming, maybe chance. But who are the closer, and who are the in front of the close contact, they can be enlightened because then material desire will be going out, then spiritual thing will be enlightened. So that is why uh, it is necessary to have attachment of the spiritual thing, then automatically the material things has to be going out, detached things. So
thank
it
you.
is both together, yeah, is devotional practice is necessary. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So here devotees are just like a fire. Everyone has got the fuel, but whether what purpose they are using it, they're simply just keeping there. And when they come to devotees, devotees lit that fire. And slowly it will burn all the material things. Thank you, Prabhuji, and thank you, Mataji. And then further Prabhupada is mentioning about the touchstone. It is very difficult to know the potency of the touchstone. Likewise, the devotional service is a mystery of devotional service. But pure devotee of the Lord is also rarely to be seen. There are so many people out there, but who is pure devotee is when we go to that devotee, he will slowly, gradually make us to detach from this material world. Sometimes these materialistic people, when a devotee goes there, they don't come nearer to that, so that they will lose interest on the material things. Some people they don't even take the Bhagavad Gita book. They know the potency of it, they don't take it because their attachment, Niruda Mola Hridaya, they completely attach it to it. That
Hare
is
Krishna. Like the who get the mukti, they can also not see the God, like they can also not come near the God. Like
the
I think
mukti.
mukti only people get only get mukti who are the detached from the materialist. So why only pure devotee can see God and not even somebody get the mukti cannot go near the God.
So mukti is just only free from the material worlds. Mucchite kama karma bihi. That is just only reliefment from the material things. But there is further bringing negative balance to the zero balance, and from zero balance to the positive things, accumulation of the wealth. Then we will make so many other things. Otherwise, we have to keep on working, so that to clear the debts. So zero is the wherever there is a zero, that is mukti, free from all the debts, material things. And we have got enough money, then we can make of so many other things and then enjoy. That is the devotional service. That is then only mad bhaktim labate bharam. Completely who are free from Brahma Bhutah Prasannatma Nasochati Nakamkshati, whoever are completely in the transcendental position. That means they do not have any attachment to the material thing. Brahma Bhutah Prasannatma Nasochati Nakamkshati. Samah Sarvet Bhusheshu Madbhaktim Labate Param. Whoever has got that balance, they only can progress in the devotional service, pious activities, and coming to Krishna consciousness. They will see the Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So mukti is knowledge, is it, Prabhu? So you have the knowledge, but you don't activate it by being positive and moving on the ladder to bhakti. Is that right?
Yes, man. Mukti is just freedom from all the material things.
Yes, that's right. So you have to make that effort to grow and flourish within the bhakti process, that's your choice, isn't it? You have to make that effort. It's not going to just fall on your plate, because you got mukti.
Yes.
Yeah.
So people who will get the mukti, they don't have to take come birth and death again, isn't it?
No, that's not the case, because you haven't developed into pure devotees, like taking on to bhakti and practicing it. Is that right, Prabhu?
Yes, Mother. So Mukti, once he is free, and what is the liberation? So there are 5 kinds of liberations, and what is the Mukti you are desiring for? That it depends on.
Yeah.
If a person like I just simply wanted liberation, so you will be I wanted to merge into the Brahman light. You will go and there merge there. losing the identity. So that is they think that, but that is Aruhya Kuruchena Param Padam Tataha. Prabhupada used to mention that particular statement again and again. Patantyadaha Anadruta Yushmadangarayaha. When they do not go towards the bhakti, everything is a temporary. They will patantyadaha. They will fall down. Which is kuto anyat kal viplutam netyanti sevaya purnaha. This is kuto anyat kal viplutam. Everything will be temporary. The Lord says this. Matsevaya priyante salokyadi chatustayam netyanti sevaya purnaha kuto anyat kala viplutam. Everything will be temporary apart from this salokyadi chatustayam. That means whatever is Sahyajya Mukti, that is also sometimes it is Kala Viplutam. It fall onto the Kala Viplutam. It is a temporary only. As long as if you once again coming to the material world attached with this, the Sangam, then once again there is a chance. Once again establishing the hospitals, Prabhupada is participating in the dharmic activities, likewise. But the devotional service, they would not leave. Dhautatma Purusha Krishna Pada Mulam Namunchati Mukta Sarup Pariklesha Pantaha Swasaranam Yata. But whoever coming to lotus feet of Krishna, they will never ever leave the lotus feet of Krishna. Because they have tasted the highest perfection of life. Tasya Ravinda Nainasya. This one is Kumaras. As soon as they see the lotus feet of Krishna tinged with the tulsi leaves, and immediately they got attracted. Their conception of impersonal knowledge, it was shaken. Sankshobham akshadvishamapi chittatanvoho, in their mind and in their body. Sankshobham akshadvishamapi. Akshara is the Brahma Jyoti. Akshadvishamapi. The desire for that one, it was got vanished. The desire for Brahma Jyoti is vanished. And then now, because they have seen Tasyara Vinda Nainasya Tulasi, that it is so beautiful verse. It is not getting the full verse, but that is what Kumaras, Chatush Kumaras, they are saying like that. Until that, they are just mukti. They are in the Brahma stage, understanding the Brahman light, Brahman Jyoti. But when they see the Lord, all their conception got evaporated.
So what is the mukti and the moksha is the same one, or the
Yes,
moksha is
Mataji.
different? Yeah,
Yes.
same. Okay. Hare Krishna.
So that's why. So yoga perfection in devotional service is the highest of all and the most mysterious also. Even more mysterious than the 8 kinds of mystic perfection attained by the process of yogic performances. This is Sarva Guhyatamam Bhuyaha Shurnime Paramam Vachaha. This is the supreme instruction. Sarva Guhyatamam. Guhyatamam is the most confidential than all other confidentials. This we have been seeing in the Bhagavad Gita session. This is what Lord says. This is what is that? Sarvadharman parityajyamami ekam saranam vraja aham tvam sarvapapibhyo mokshishyami ma suchaha. So that is Krishna's statement. That is the highest. But other people, they understand. They take it very easily. Everyone are saying yes, just Sarvadharman. How can I take it? How can I do it simply? There are further Prabhupada's instructions. It take a minute if you are a serious devotee. What happened? Understanding all your material life and spiritual life. Okay, so everything is in the desires. Okay, can I request other devotee so to read further? Yes, Mataji. Radha Sevka Mataji, you wanted to read it?
Oh, Hare Krishna, sorry. Oh, am I mute? Can you hear me? Oh, hold on.
Yes, Mataji, I can hear you.
Sorry. Oh, 1 minute. Just hear from me again about the most confidential part of the instructions or in Bhagavatam by Brahmaji to Narad in the following verse. Idam Bhagavatam nama yanme Bhagavatatoditam sangraho aham vibhutinam vam etad vipulikaru. Brahmaji said to Narad, whatever I have spoken to you about the Bhagavatam was explained. Sorry, my phone has the light. Right, Brahmaji said to Narada, whatever I've spoken to you about the Bhagavatam was explained to me by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I am advising you to expand these topics nicely so that people may easily understand the mysterious Bhakti Yoga by transcendental loving service to the Lord. It is to be noted here that the mystery of Bhakti Yoga was disclosed to Brahmaji by the Lord himself. Brahmaji explained the same mystery. Narada explained it to Vyasa.
Mataji, your voice is too low.
Okay. Brahmaji said to Narada, whatever I have spoken to you about the Bhagavatam was explained to me by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I'm advising you to expand these topics nicely so that people may really understand the mysterious Bhakti Yoga by transcendental loving service to the Lord. It is to be noted here that the mystery of Bhakti Yoga was disclosed to Brahmaji by the Lord himself. Brahmaji explained the same mystery to Narada. Narada explained it to Vyasa. Vyasa explained it to Sukadeva Goswami. And the same knowledge is coming down in the unalloyed chain of disciplic succession. If one is fortunate enough to have received the knowledge in the transcendental disciplic succession, surely he will have the chance to understand the mystery of the Lord and that the Srimad Bhagavatam, the sound incarnation of the Lord.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So this one. So this is coming from the Lord, this knowledge. Where does this one? Praha Bhagavatam Nam Puranam Brahma Samhitam Brahmane Bhagat Proktam Brahma Kalpa Upagate. This is the time. Brahma Kalpa Upagate. From the Brahma Kalpa itself, then only Brahma received this knowledge and from the Lord directly. And here, Idam Bhagavata Nama Yanme Bhagavatoditam. This is Sakshat Bhagavatoditam, spoken by the Lord directly. Sangrohoyam Vibhutinam, and I have explained you briefly, but Twam Yetat Vipuli Kuru, but you explain more detail to everyone else. O Narada Muni. So likewise, he is saying to Brahma is telling to Narada. And Narada came there and Narada is explaining very detailedly and Brahma is also explaining very detailedly, but he's saying, I am telling it is a Sangrahoyam. It is only briefly only, but there is so many things to say. And Narada also came, he spoke to Vyasadeva also, but there also he says that Pradesha Matram Samsuchitam. I am telling you just very little bit only. You explain more. But actually, we see whenever Vyasdev has compiled in the literary form, then only all these conditioned souls able to see with their eyes, hear with their ears. That is Srimad Bhagavatam and all other scriptures and transcendental literatures. Until that particular point of time, it was only through the hearing process. But hearing only from the spiritual master. Whoever goes to the Guru, they only can hear, not anyone else can hear. That's why it was so confidential. But in the Kali Yuga, people are prayena alpasha sabhya kalavasmin yuge janaha mandaha sumandamatayo mandabhagyahi updrutaha. How unfortunate people, even though there's such kind of confidential knowledge is easily accessible, they are very unfortunate. Mandabhagyaha. So here, this is the glory. Prabhupada is explaining that one. So Narada explained to Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva explained to Sukadeva Goswami. Same knowledge is coming down in the unalloyed chain of disciplic succession. This is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Guru Vaishnava Parampara. We are receiving that knowledge from Prabhupada. It is coming to us. If one is fortunate enough to have received this knowledge in the transcendental disciplic succession, surely he will have the chance to understand the mystery of the Lord and that of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the sound incarnation of the Lord. Very beautiful. So now we are relishing all the devotees sitting together discussing transcendental topics of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so I request dear devotees, kindly open up any questions or any additions. Please say a few your anything you would like to share. Hare Krishna. So this is the third statement of, or the third shloka of the Chatushlok.
Oh, sorry, Prabhu. The bit about unalloyed chain of disciplic succession.
Yes, Mataji.
Sorry, did you hear me?
Disciplic succession and then?
Yeah, the chain coming down from some chain. If can you expand it? Or sorry, it's gone a bit. 1 minute. Right. It says there, Sukadeva Goswami, the same knowledge is coming down in the unalloyed chain of disciplic succession. And so if one is fortunate enough to have received the knowledge, so you receive the knowledge and, oh dear, my screen is going a bit funny. And I didn't understand it really clearly.
So this is our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Guru Vaishnava Parampara coming down from Madhvacharya and Madhavendra Puri, Ishwara Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all 6 Goswamis and coming down to Prabhupada. And then we are receiving here among the devotees and we are seeing that knowledge relishing. That is the ripening fruit. Of course, when we explain to others, we explain a bit more. And now, if we see Prabhupada disciples, each and every disciple is composed so many different kinds of books that is expanding further and further. But now itself, we do not have that much time. A person who understands this knowledge, he doesn't have time to read all these books so far. But there are materialistic people, what is their, if they understand that they have been expanded further by Prabhupada's disciples. And we don't find time to read Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and so many literatures are. The literatures, then hearing those names itself, they are purifying, but we don't find that much time. By reading only Prabhupada books, we don't find that much time in the day, apart from the.
But you don't have to read so much to understand it, do you? Because it says you have a chance. If you pursue it in a way that you could understand it.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
That's the clear. Yeah, that's what makes sense there, because that's what I was questioning. How come we can manage to get all that and fulfill it in the 24 hours of a day, and which we have, responsibilities to do our prescribed duties as well. It's not possible to, as you say, cover all the scriptures in that time. So as long as you understand it, it could be coming to lectures and have it repeatedly said, and you don't have to have your face in a book and think that's it. I'm doing the job and I'll get freedom through that. So the word chance is the thing there, I think.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, you have the chance to understand the mystery of the Lord and the Bhagavatam.
Yeah, some people, even the hearing all these things, they're just like a inert to all this knowledge.
Yeah.
They don't respond at all. Or sometimes they go far away from it.
Haribo.
But devotees, they take this process and make progress. And at the end, tan mrityu atipare bhajanti ananya. Whoever is doing bhajanti with ananya bhakti, tan mrityu atipare, the Lord easily, He will cross them from this material essence of birth, old age, disease, and death. That is devotional service. Any other comments, additions? So likewise here all these things are yata mahanti bhutani bhuteshu ucchavacheshu pravishtani apravishtani tatateshu natveshu aham. The Lord, even though He is in here, in this material world, but He is outside of this one. That is the statement, third statement. For that one, all these purport is linking. We can understand only Lord with the only devotional service only. So whatever the topic we speak, everything is bringing to devotional service and understand the Lord. And that can be, we can understand everything, but when we engage ourselves in that process, when we are singing, when we are chanting, or when we are reciting these verses and doing bhajana, kartals or mridanga, then only one feels that having the knowledge on one side, parallelly activities are going on. Then one feels that vibrations. That is devotional service. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Any other questions or any other comments, additions? There are no further questions or comments, then we shall conclude.
Thank you, Prabhu Hare Krishna. This is so beautiful when we just can't think about how the Golaka chart and then the Krishna. So it's so wonderful. Just keep, yeah, Prabhu, this is the sometimes it's
So we shall also
very
go through
wonderful
this.
when, yeah, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is lying on the bed and then when you see this is like, it's so amazing.
Okay, Mataji. So these things,
The Krishna, yes.
there are so many things to explain, but we have limited time. And so there are
Even when you see the picture and then you see this there's a chart. It's so beautiful.
yeah, and whenever the verses are being explaining these pictures,
Like when you just yeah. Right.
then every will coming into the picture, going to the heart.
Yes.
And this, Ananta, he is on top of his hoods. This Bhumandala is just like a mustard seed on top of the head of Ananta. And Ananta is on top of the Lord's, the turtle form in the Garbhodaka ocean.
Mm-hmm.
That is Kurma Avtara. It is and the 4 elephants, so they are balancing the plates of the Bhumandala. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for explaining everything. It's so beautiful.
Yes, Mataji?
Naraka Pitruloka is the next to each other.
Yes, so they are like in the Bhumandala, there are in the it is Bhumandala. Whenever each layer is 10 times, when we go upwards, 10 times bigger than that. When it goes downwards, 10 times smaller than that. Likewise.
Why there is elephant?
So those elephants are balancing the Bhumandala. So this is for the earth, their resting place is Lord Shesha. For Lord Shesha, resting place is the great tortoise beneath him. For the tortoise, the resting place is the wind. For the wind, the resting place is I myself. This is coming from Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Shri Krishna Janma Kanda 6211.
Any reason behind for the elephant is the balancing the Bhumandala or anything for that?
This one also we see whenever there is a Sagaras, Bhagirath story when the mother Ganges was bringing down from the heavenly planets to the earth by Bhagirath. In his ancestors, the Sagaras, 60,000 Sagaras, they were trying, there was the Amsuman, and they were performing horse sacrifice during that time. Indra used to come and steal the horse, and then he used to hide somewhere else, and they used to find it. And at the time, the Sagaras, they were searching for this horse. At the time, they could not find anywhere in the earth, so they started digging the earth, and then they went to and see these elephants there. And then that statements are also explained in the Bhagavatam. And then they go down to where Kapil Bhagavan was meditating in the different planetary systems. There, as soon as they go there, and they thought they saw the horse there, but they thought Kapil Bhagavan has stolen it. And then, as soon as they go nearer to Kapil Bhagavan, with his just with eyebrows, anger itself, they were burnt to ashes. But later on, their brother, who is a devotee, he came and then he offered his obeisances to Kapila Bhagavan, and then he took that horse, and then in his successors, Bhagirath come, and then he wanted to liberate all these 60,000 Sagaras from their ashes to elevate their bodies into the higher planetary systems. That's why Mother Ganges came.
And this was like from the Sesnag resting place means total.
Yes.
Oh, this Sesnag is sitting under total. It's like that, isn't it?
Yes, and for the tortoise, the resting place is the wind.
And then, so wind is then is God Himself.
Yeah.
Thank you
Total under the wind, like
yeah. For the wind, the resting place is I myself. So
first time I know this.
Yeah, they are bit. We understand that one in the second canto. There are further descriptions of the cosmic manifestations. Sukadev Goswami explains. We will see them in due course of time, in a few months' time. And also later it explained in the fifth canto, further in the very technical way. And also we go through this chart as well once we go through this. Once Chatashloki Bhagavad, this chapter is completed, and we go to the third canto, chapter 15, where the Vaikuntha descriptions are there. And once we see the Vaikuntha and those pastimes, the beauty of Vaikuntha through the eyes of Kumaras, and then we go from the Vaikuntha to this Goloka. Then Goloka, and this Goloka chart, and then the Brahma Samhita. We put together, both together, and then read through and understand it.
From a heavenly planet, they can direct to go to the Goloka, or because they don't do bhakti over there. Like from heavenly planet, they can direct go to the Vaikuntha.
So for the Vaikuntha,
Or going
they
in
go to the
heaven.
Vaikuntha at the annihilation of the universes, their planets. But in the due course of time, they have got their duties. But it is they have been engaged in their duties. Like we have got office, and as a mother, as a father, we have got our duties. Whenever we leave this body, and if we perform devotional service, we go back to Godhead. Likewise, the demigods are also performing their duties and the order of Vishnu in this material affairs. But they go to the Lord only to fulfill their desires. Nati prasiditi tatopachitopacharaihi aradhya suruganihi hridibaddhakamaihi yat sarva bhodaya asadalabhyaiko nana janeshu taha suhrudantaratma. So na ati prasidati. So the Lord doesn't get pleasure when the demigods go to Krishna, because they want Pritibaddhakamaihi. They have got so many desires. My Lord, protect from these demons and give these opulences. And please tell me what is the problem. They will go with so many things. Pritibaddhakamaihi. So, but compared to that, we have got material body. We do not have to stay here very long and prolong and suffer here. And this is very opportunity. We would say it is an opportunity for us to utilize this body in due course of time. It would not stay for longer as well, more than 50 or 60 years or 70 years, based on the one's body. Someone's body is very strong, someone's body is very weak, and everyone has a different body. Depends on it. But at the end, either it is strong or weak, when he is coming to devotional service to Krishna, it doesn't matter. One will go to Krishna very quickly, other will go to bit late. That is the only the difference. Everyone will go to Krishna who are in the devotional path.
But then everybody go to the Krishna.
Yes, that is what the Lord desires. But He doesn't want this material world people suffer here. It is not the desire of the Lord's desire is like a father. He just creates one kind of beautiful garden, then children will go and play. And children are keep on playing. They don't want to come inside such a beautiful place. But that is not the Lord wish that children go and play there forever. They just go and play and come back. That is the Lord's desire. But it is not that children always stay in the garden. And the Lord, whenever children are with Father, Father always feel happy. So there are a few things. नैतद् भतादीश पदं तवेप्सितं यन्मायनः तनुसे बोधसूक्ष्मम् अनुग्रहाय अस्तु अपि यर्हिमाय लसत्तुलस्य भगं विलक्षितः. But people, they take this one as they granted and they enjoy. They wanted to stay here itself, which is not possible. It is temporary only.
Thank you.
Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so anything else we shall conclude and continue with further japa.
Thank you, Prabhu, for your so nice, beautiful.
Thank you, Mother. It is possible when the pure devotees are coming and trying to hear and question, then only it is possible to discuss these transcendental topics. Okay, so keeping that one progressing, we shall conclude our session. Panchakalpatarubhyascha कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि विष्णु भक्तवृंद की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna consciously.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara